remain grateful for the ongoing support of one of our governing board members, Mr. Dave Rogers, and the Dave and Joan Rogers Family Foundation. The foundation has underwritten the entire gallery season, as Erie and Joe had mentioned, dedicated to the history of the Bicentennial. Now, Dave Rogers is involved directly with the Western New York Heritage Magazine, as well as Buffalo Maritime Center in support of the Canal boat replica, the Seneca Chief. You may have seen the replica boat that will be making its journey, kind of culminating the entire Bicentennial later in the year. Dave very generously underwrote that initiative as well. Unfortunately, Dave couldn't be with us today, but he sends his best and wishes us the best with this season of Bicentennial themed exhibits. And we thank you all for being here today to share it with us. Thanks, enjoy.
So we're very grateful to Dana and his wife Debbie for presenting our first exhibit, accepting our invitation to do so, and bring his wealth of definitive work on Erie Canal to our gallery. If I had to choose one letter that would represent Dana and his artworks, it would be the letter D, for diversity. He's expressed the world as he sees it, as he experiences it, through diverse concepts, media, inspirations, imagination, and genres. D also happens to connect his family with his father, Dwayne, a well-known artist, and his brother, David. So I'd like to ask you to join me in welcoming Dana to our exhibit.
Thank you all for coming out here for this. I'll tell you a little bit about how the whole thing came about. Okay. I was a full-time teacher. Well, not at first, but it's later a full-time teacher at 3 different colleges, but at Damon College. And I ended up teaching drawing predominantly. And I like teaching drawing. And at that time, in keeping with that, I was doing a lot of landscape paintings and drawings, lots of them. I mean, years of them, and I had shows with lots of them on the walls and things. And so landscapes weren't entirely weird and foreign to me. They were just an interest I had. And Debbie, we met Hugh Pratt and his wife, Ann Harris, for dinner. I don't remember the impetus behind it. But Hugh Pratt wrote a play called Clinton's Ditch. And I was winding down my teaching career, and I thought, well, gee, maybe I could do some drawings that could accompany the play. And it fell through utilizing them at the location where the play was. So Debbie, I couldn't have done any of this without her. Debbie contacted the various history museums up and down the Erie Canal. And what I did is I went to each of the libraries and history museums, and especially the library in Buffalo, which has 600,000 plus photos. And if any of you have an interest in our area, I would say you have to make an appointment to go in there. Go in there and just see the wealth of visual information that is our area. It's amazing, really amazing. And I had been going there looking at photographs prior to this time. And I thought, well, let me look at the Erie Canal photographs. And so went there and I asked them, is it okay if I draw from these? And they said, sure, it's fine. I had to get their permission, right? And then from the photographs, we made prints, which is the prints of examples on your Xeroxes.
And those are photos, honey.
Photos.
The photos from museums are on the table.
On the table, Jim. And so, I'm sorry, I said prints. And so I had all of these pictures, right? And here I am spent years doing landscapes and abstract art and various other kinds of art. But, I mean, right now I'm doing a lot of different things. I have a show at Hall Walls, I'm going to have a show at, what? Betty's and Crucible Art Gallery. I have a block on that. So, and those are abstract art. But I was very, very much interested in realism. And in fact, truth be told, I do a lot of drawing every day. I draw every day. And I have what would be deemed an obsessive personality. And I I have ADHD, meaning I am unidirected, and I have a capacity to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, which is what I do. So, I had these drawings. I thought, I'll do them in pencil. I think there's one here in pencil. This pencil, I love pencil. I do lots of small pencil drawings, but it was getting kind of messy, you know, scrubby. It was getting kind of like greasy. You know how you can say graphite can be kind of greasy. It's used as a lubricant, right? Graphite is. And so I thought, well, Conti crayon pencils. So that's the choice of the material I chose, and it worked. And under a lot of deadline responsibility, because there were 6 different shows, all of the work was specific to the areas where the work was from. So when I had the show at the Buffalo History Museum, it was Buffalo. When I had the show at Buffalo Niagara Heritage Village, that was also Buffalo, but it was some that were akin to that area. And Rochester, which was a lot of really cool things like this. I love the Rochester pictures, like these. This was an aqueduct which turned and went right down through the center of Rochester. And it really kind of made the city, you know. It helped populate it, build it up, things of that nature. And then later, this was paved over and it was a road, so the aqueduct isn't there anymore. But there were these pictures of these boats negotiating their way through there, which was, you know, intriguing. And my interest in this stuff, I have a kind of ancillary interest in the history, but I'm an artist. I did these things because I like drawing them, and I'm obsessive about it. So I just drew them again and again and again and again and again, and I ended up with a big pile of these drawings. And then then we went to each of the history museums, up and down the canal, in Buffalo, at Rochester, Syracuse, Schenectady, and Waterford. And I asked them, each one of those people, can I use your photographs? They said, sure, no problem. So I had the background, the information, the